hear your voice when you sleep next to me. I still feel your touch in my dream. Forgive me my weakness, but I don't know why. Without you, it's hard to survive.
So much, you may even get tired of winning, and you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
Alone we are weak twigs, but together we are a mighty faggot. So true, Ben Shapiro on 2X. So true. What a banger. What a way to start. Oh, it is another late labe, but you know what? You guys got to be grateful that I'm here. I really don't know how long how long my voice is going to last tonight, because I woke up this morning and sounded like an old growly bear. I've been trying not to cough. Like I've really got a cough, but it's hard to actually get it through. And I'm like right on the verge of a headache constantly, and my neck muscles are all super tensed up. So coughing makes my head feel like it's going to explode. So I'm trying to do like a cross between clearing my throat and coughing. And I was walking around last night doing that, and Amy said I sounded like an old grandpa, because I'm just walking around going, damn it. Oh, apologies. I'll try to get the mute button for those when they happen in the future. But yes, I've got a rest for the State of the Union tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening, we will have a live watch of my president's State of the Union address. Cannot wait to see it. I was over the weekend. I got to experience vicariously the great glory that our country experienced when our great gladiators of the U.S. hockey team, it's not a U.S. men's hockey team, it's the U.S. hockey team. The U.S. hockey team went and took it to the Canucks up north. That was one of the greatest days of memes that I've ever seen, and I collected some of the best of them for us to watch today. I tried to go video heavy today, since obviously the talking is going to be a little bit difficult. But yeah, I've got a whole bunch of stuff about just all the memes. All the memes are just so glorious. We live in such a great, blessed time where we get to sit down. I can just open up this little device in my phone, in my pocket, and be immensely entertained while I'm laying there dying. So thank you to all of you guys for contributing to that. The King Pill Discord was popping. Kingpill.com, go join it. You're missing out on some great fun with some great folks. Got some epic memes, epic videos, all kinds of stuff. We're gonna dunk on the Leaf Bros a little bit, and all in good fun, of course. But we got to remind the little brother that he's the little brother, and this was a great opportunity for that. I've even got a video here about leftists who fled America for Canada because of Trump are now freaking out because they realize that it's really expensive up there. Cost of living is terrible in Canada. I want to go back to the U.S., but the U.S. is so evil and yucky and racist. So we're gonna do a bit of celebrating in the glory that is America. I've also got a few things. I got a Mega Grandma's video. Hopefully I can get through to that point, talking about Trump calling out the foreign interests behind the Supreme Court's tariff decision, and it's not just China. So we'll watch that, and then a few other things about the tariffs and the Supreme Court, and then some odds and ends videos. We'll see if we get down to Gavin Newsom telling black people that he's retarded just like they are. But yeah, so should be a good time tonight. By the way, so tips link, let me throw this in here. I have a new tips link. Heyo! Cheeky! Oh no.
I'm a naughty doomer slut and I need to be punished by big girthy truesters.
Big girthy truesters, you say? Well, you have come to the right place. I have got a fantastic supply of big girthy truthers. Truesters. Just for you. I just realized that I done fucked up. I went and forgot to get the iPad and the soundboard set up, which is a real bummer, because I did a whole bunch of work on it this afternoon. I did a whole bunch of work trying to get it set up, and I changed some things up, added some things, rearranged them so I can categorize them by color. So there's like certain themes that I can make all one color, like all the Trump ones I made gold. So let's see if I can open this up and get it to work. Let's see. Can you guys hear this? Damn it. Nope, it looks like you guys probably cannot hear that. Which is, damn it, that's annoying. All right, well, I don't even remember which one was the one that I added. And it's possible once I share the screen, it may work. Yeah, soundboard may work for it with the screen share, because it's just one of the windows that's open. We'll find out once I screen share here in a moment. I got to tell you guys, thank you to Pale Morning Dude for you send some kicks in every episode, and you sent yours in this to start here. I appreciate you. Shout out to Luke Saturna, just followed the channel. I know that name. Then hold on a sec here. There was another one I wanted to shout out. Augustine has resubscribed. Bobby Ballbags has resubscribed. Jared Taylor sent $10. Has followed the channel. That to me sounds like a patriot. Shouting out Uncle Jared. Shout out to you, Jared Taylor sent $10, whoever you are, if you're listening right now. 10 Hitler points, that's right. Oh, that gives me an idea. Hitler points. Oh, I need to write that down. Hold on, just a sec. I got to make a note for myself. I'm going to try to switch up, hold on. Hitler points. I was trying to solve this problem of certain messages, certain tips messages getting filtered out by the automation. So the tips go through, but you guys like type funny stuff or you take the time to be thoughtful with it, and then it doesn't play, and I have to read it, and that's fine. But it's funny when Justine reads it. So I think that I think there's a way that I can fix it, but it's going to be more difficult than I thought. So it's led me to perhaps looking for a more streamlined. Maybe Streamlabs just needs to be left behind altogether, and but I need to do some work with Stream Elements. So I'm going to work on that on Wednesday. That's the plan. At least when I'm not labing, I will work on stuff for the show. Also, Wednesday evening there will be let's say a premiere of a particular piece of content that I'll be shouting out. I will. The cyberbully has graced us with something for the YouTube channel, so I will be premiering that with you guys Wednesday evening. There will be no lab as usual on Wednesdays, but I will be premiering that with you guys, and then I'll be going into the King Pilled voice chat for the King Pilled Discord voice chat to hang out with you guys for the evening. Those of you who are subscribers over there, so kingpilled.com if you want to be a part of that, and also with the tips link, there is now. So 1488 will get you an Erica. I changed the default sound. I'm hoping it's a little bit better. It's a little bit quicker. And then what was the other one? So 88 gets you a little something. The new one is $47. $47 exactly. Should play something. So if it doesn't end up working, then I'm sorry for promising something I can't deliver. I'll have to try to work on that and make it work, but it should work. I set it up so that an exactly $47 tip should give you guys a little something. Also, anything above 100, anything above 200, those all are a little bit different. I was going to do 45, 47, but I understand from what people have told me that tipping on Ko-fi, you have to, or coffee, I don't know how they pronounce it. Stupid website. They facilitate people giving money to me. That's the only reason I'm using them. But apparently, if you're going to do 14.88, if you're going to do input a decimal, then you have to type it out in another app, copy it, and then paste it into the field. Otherwise, it won't let you type a period. So, yeah. So I just decided to just do 47 instead of 45, 47. But there's some more that I want to add. I've got those backed up that I need to sit down and do some editing and put some stuff together. And in the course of all of that, I think I'm maybe going to just switch up I've got this Rube Goldberg machine making things work right now, and I might try to streamline it down a little bit. Mr. Sue says, yeah, that dumb cunt Justine didn't read my Trevor Moore message. I paid good money for that, you bitch. Right. Yeah. So I gotta go get all up inside Justine's insides and rearrange some things. Yeah, I know it's not that hard, but hey-o, Dave!
I need someone else to fight with. Mr. Sue and I did karate in the garage and became best friends.
The two resident boomers have befriended one another now. The two resident gay boomers, they have become friends. We've got love stories happening in the Astrolabe live chat. How are you not here? This is actually a King Pill Discord thing too. Both of them are members. I'm gonna semi-dox them. But speaking of Dave Johnson,
Dave Johnson is the gayest person to ever walk this green earth.
Here is the biggest, gayest man in the world.
Wow. So gay.
I know Gabe Umer, good guy. Yeah, I don't want to know any more details about this karate. Here at the King Pilled matchmaking service, we'll pair you guys up, but then what you guys do together is entirely your business. It's actually a breach of contract to inform me on any of those details. Big shout out also to Dave for the 10 gifted subs over on Kick. Shout out to Borp, Rudo Z, Official Gambling Academy, Mrs. Kingpilled got a gifted sub, Cheeky, Nevsky, Superior B, Adam Bombson, Ride, and Bubbaloo. Bubbaloo is what my dad used to call me when I was a kid. He'd come in and be like, "Hey there, Bubbaloo." Aw. Well, thank you. All right. Is there anything else I needed to say? I took NyQuil last night, so makes me feel weird, and kind of gets me a little agitated, sort of. But my skin kind of feels like it's dry and crawling. Ugh. All right, let's start. My dad just called me retarded nigger faggot. well, trust plants art. Sounds like your dad was a patriot. Cheeky says Phoenix is about to be in the 90s. Who's trying to golf? I'm buying plane ticket. You buy me the plane ticket and you pay for the golf and pay for me to take my clubs out there, and I will meet you in Phoenix. I'll pay for. I'll put some toward meals and some toward lodging. But you buy the ticket, you get my clubs out there, you buy the golf for me, and I'll be there. We are going to do a king-pilled golf tournament here at some point in the hopefully this year. We'll see if that happens. I'd like to make it happen this year. Got some other things I got to get sorted out first. But anyway, so let us labe. First of all, just apropos of nothing. I guess this falls in the category of I can just open up this little box in my pocket anytime I want and just marvel at the world. This person posted this meme. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Just like you can show a liberal the truth, but you can't make it think. An epic boomer meme from X Freeze with a little anime girl. This is like the most obvious slop ever, but Elon Musk replies, "The horse will drink if you put its head in the water and clap its nuts between two bricks, as that creates an involuntary sucking in of air or water." The world's richest man, ladies and gentlemen, put the horse's head in the water and clap its nuts between two bricks. Yes, I would like to know why Elon knows this. Thank you, Elon. Very cool. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to steal that. Hold on. I can't believe I didn't think of that first. I'm sure somebody already did it. Thank you, Elon. Very cool. Oh, what a wonderful world we live in. The dude is busy mass producing robots, launching rockets, getting ready to colonize the moon, and just taking time out of his day to give us tips on making horses drink by clapping their nuts between bricks. Yeah. I'm surprised. Elon, what the fuck are you talking about? Oren McIntyre with the banger. 0 HP, gem alert. If that makes horses drink, what makes liberals think? Now we're talking, Jenna. Data Republican. If only libs had nuts. Why would you tweet this? One of the best things about a banger tweet is just reading the replies. Sew one button doesn't make you a tailor. Cook one meal doesn't make you a chef. But fuck one horse and you're a horse fucker for all of history. Thank you, Elon. Very cool. What has Elon got going on with horses? This reminds me of the, what was the John McAfee tweet about, no, actually, I want to search for it this way. John McAfee, whatever. Whale fucker tweet. Yes, I'll just search for that. Okay, here we go. Legendary tweet. Enough of the whale fucking is non-consensual bullshit. A humpback whale weighs 70,000 pounds, is 50 feet long, and can dive more than a quarter mile, and can crush ships with a single swipe of its tail. If a human manages to fuck one, you damn well better believe it's consensual. I don't have anything to add. Thank you, John. Thank you for gracing us with this. I hope you're enjoying where you're at, wherever you are. Amy and I almost got married by John McAfee. There was a little bit of lore there. I'm surprised that, okay, yeah, this is what I was looking for. Emergent perspective. Oh, gay. He said, Grok, please generate a video demonstrating what this looks like. Include Elon in the video. And Grok says, I can't generate videos, but imagine this. A cartoon horse dips its head into a trough. Elon, in a spacesuit, dramatically claps 2 bricks together near the horse's rear. The horse gasps, sucks in water hilariously. Sound effects. Clack. Slurp. Elon laughs. Innovation! Oh, what a great life we get to lead. Incredible, incredible things. Okay. This one here, I gotta give, I'm sure, maybe I don't give a warning. If you have epilepsy, I'm not going to warn you about this video. This is from one of our great Patriot posters, Lux Imperii. And Mr. Suda sent it over to me. It says, Greetings, Patriots. I'm excited to present for your consideration an important message.
The plans and preparations for a communist revolution of force and violence are far advanced. The organization behind these preparations has almost unlimited financial resources, and it provides both training and leadership based upon years of experience in many other countries. Our enemies are deadly serious about their task, and it's nothing short of national suicide for us to continue to ignore their plans and their progress. As important as the strategy for violent revolution is, the strategy for nonviolent revolution is even more important to the communists and more potentially fatal to us. So let's turn next to that part of the total picture. Everywhere I look, I see men and women who know that communists are making headway in this country. They know that something must be done and that someone must stand up to them. But they themselves do nothing. They remain silent because they're afraid that if they speak out, it'll be bad for business. We must not be fooled into thinking that the causes of our civil turmoil are such things as poverty, poor housing, lack of education, and similar social or economic factors. The problem is that the power structure that runs both of the old political parties seems to have great difficulty in comprehending what is taking place, and they're the same people, by and large, who still tell you it can't happen here. Not only can it happen here, not only is it happening here, but it has been happening here for years. The problem is that most of us haven't been able to recognize a revolution in all of its forms when we saw one. We have now passed the point of painless solutions and parlor patriotism. There was a time, and not too long ago, I think, when we could have pulled ourselves out of this without too great a sacrifice on the part of anyone. All that would have been necessary would have been for us to take an interest in the domestic affairs of our nation and to insist that our elected representatives merely enforce the laws that were then on the books to protect us from internal subversion and to keep the enemy outside the gates. Now, of course, the minute you begin to think along these lines, you'll become the target of a whole barrage of attacks. You'll be called a witch hunter, a right-wing extremist. If that doesn't work, then you'll be called a fascist. We must discover the identity of those individuals, both above and below, who consciously are furthering the communist program for revolution, and then remove them from their positions of trust and leadership. Anything less than that will be totally futile.
Total removal of all communists. Lux Imperii, what a patriot, man. That was a banger. Go follow the man at Lux Imperii. He is here in the chat as well. That was phenomenal. Who was that? I recognized the voice and I had some guesses, but who was that? I guess I should check. Is that the same Lux Imperii? It'd be funny if you weren't. It'd be funny if you were just another guy. G. Edward Griffin was what I was wondering. Yeah. It'd be funny if that if you just happen to have the same name and you're like, yeah, thanks, that's awesome. Oh man. Oh, hold on. Can you hear this? Trump isn't doing mass executions of members of Congress. He betrayed me again. Did that come through? Waiting on it. Waiting on it. Yes, it did. Excellent. Okay, so I know for sure now going forward that if I don't start it on time, then I can at least use the soundboard while I'm screen sharing. Can't even imagine life as a panicking right now. Look at these vibes. This is real footage of my president.
The 47th president trading the oval for ollies, showcasing skills that could rival the pros in the game. Here is what he had to say.
Quite frankly, my kicks are tremendous. Some say the best they've seen.
This is what it's like just going through life.
Doing everything I can, holding on to what I am, pretending I'm a Superman.
Such a banger song. Speaking of banger songs, the Leaves are disgraced, Mexicans are getting discombobulated, and a gentleman named Donald J. Trump, have you heard of him, is your president. This is how it feels. This was just playing over and over again in my head yesterday while I was watching all the Kino stream across my timeline. Now, in case you didn't see what happened, in case you were like me and you didn't watch the game, someone very helpfully put together a bunch of highlights. So I feel like I actually was there. I feel like I actually attended it in person.
Rising up, back on the street, did my time, took my chances.
Get bent, Leaf!
Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times
He doesn't even need a helmet.
too fast.
He's got the great
You
golden
trade your
mane.
passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the
Let's go,
dreams
boys.
of the past. You must survive just to keep
Turn your
them
face into a
alive.
speed bag.
It's deep. Eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight.
Breaks the past, what a play by Trump.
And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night. And he's watching us all in the eye
Red light burns!
of the tiger.
Incredible time to be alive. This post has been fact-checked true by real honest patriots. Here is how Ohio reacted. And if you, sports bros are on top of the world right now. And if you too want to be on top of the world, then you can appreciate what it's like to be a sports bro. If you haven't experienced a moment like this in person, when something incredible happens in a sporting event, and you're all gathered there together, and you all get to just mass chimp out together, one of the greatest experiences you'll ever have in your life. These people are unlocking core memories right now. You need to experience what it's like to be an Ohioan. Yeah, this is one of the best things that's ever happened to him, right? stuck living in Ohio. Kate, were you actually there? Were you actually at the game physically? She said I was going absolutely nuts when it happened. See, I don't really follow hockey all that much. I've watched it off and on here and there and just never wound up totally having the bandwidth for it. It's been taken up by other things, but I've got a great appreciation for it. And here's the thing, you can be like me. You don't have to know everything about the game. You don't even necessarily have to like the game or follow it closely, and you can still appreciate it. You're not going to counter signal it like a fucking dweeb. They say whites have no culture, and then a bunch of white boys show up on TV like this.
White males way up. White males have gone through the roof. White males way up.
Jesse Kelly and Matt Walsh proving once again why they are, in their heart of hearts, absolute patriots. Jesse Kelly says sports do matter. They have always mattered for every society. That's why every society has had them. The reason patriots have lamented the communist infiltration of sports is because it creates division instead of unity, and unity is the point of sports. The sports are a great bringing together. Of course, by definition, when you bring a bunch of people together, you are going to cleave them from other people. This is nationalism, uniting around your nation to the exclusion of the others. To unite is to divide. Matt Walsh says, this is why I get so annoyed at the dumb conservatives who denigrate sports ball or whatever. Sports are a fundamental part of culture, just like art. You can't pretend that you want to preserve American culture while at the same time totally dismissing these elements of culture. You don't have to be a fan of any particular sport, but to write off the whole thing as beneath you just makes you a pretentious dork at best or a nihilist at worst, or both. And in many cases, this is a valuable distinction to make because I think in many cases it's really guys who are just being pretentious dorks. They're not actually nihilists. They're participating in this nihilist spirit, knowingly or unknowingly, because they're pretentious dorks. The people who counter-signal sports ball are the egghead dweebs that nobody else likes. And they're just going to keep getting stuffed in a locker over and over again. This here, where else in life today are you going to find yourself doing this? I don't think this is recent. I'm guessing from the quality of the video, but someone who knows could tell me when this was.
Sacrifice attitude, USA! Oh, mama, don't you cry! Oh, mama, don't you cry! USA hockey is do or die! USA hockey is do or die! Take a hockey stick in my hand! Take a hockey stick in my hand! Go on off to a foreign land! Go on off to a foreign land! Play said I'd be a star! Play said I'd be a star! USA hockey will go very far! USA hockey will go very far! Take the Gatorade in your glass! Take the Gatorade in your glass! We just kicked your... We just kicked your...
Peak locker room vibes. These are formative experiences for young dudes especially. One of the problems with our older dudes is that they don't keep doing this. We haven't retained the traditions to keep doing this. So if the best that we can get right now is dudes who get together and do this sort of thing by proxy, they're not the actual guys who play, but they recognize the archetype that they're respecting, that they're paying homage to, and so they're participating in that vicariously, it's still good. It's still good. You got to hone these these skills, this sort of experience. It tunes you in. These are muscles that you have to work out. And if you're not going to do it as a fan of something else, you're not going to do it at all. You might say, "Oh, well, you could get together and do drinking games." Okay. Are you regularly getting together with your bros and doing drinking games like this? If you are, cool, great, excellent, yes. But this is just different expressions of the same thing. Here's actual footage from the locker room. Just peak vibes.
I'm gonna say a bunch of names. The top of his list. And the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist. And the eagle will fly. And it's gonna be hell. When you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell.
Nothing more American than a bunch of broed out white dudes getting together in a locker room, getting drunk, and singing Toby Keith. And then you've got this guy here. Look at my drunk G.
Courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
If you're talking about this being cringe, or you're saying anything about like the use of taxpayer dollars or whatever, you're going in a fucking locker. You're a fucking dweeb. You need to earn the right to be considered an American. You need to earn the right through hard labor. If you need this explained to you, you're not a white boy American. You don't have the spirit of white boy summer. It eludes you. This shit's fucking awesome. This is exactly where I want my Jeet FBI director. I want him in the hockey locker room with these boys, getting shit-faced plastered and singing Toby Keith. That is the best possible place he could have been at that moment. There's another clip with him in it here in just a minute, and I'll continue with that. But Sam Stein, the first time I saw this, I didn't even realize it was from Sam Stein. Hold on. Come on. He says, we got the FBI director chugging beers with the Olympic hockey team in Milan. The DOD secretary posting workout videos on the daily. 3:15, the HHS secretary doing cold plunges in jeans with Kid Rock. And the CMS admin doing tree pull-ups and serving Mediterranean feasts. What a gig. So true. So true. This is our government right now. How can you blackpill? Testosterone is back on the menu, boys. If you're complaining about this stuff, you're spiritually Jewish.
I've got bad news for you. You're Jewish.
Oh, this was a touching moment. So I don't know all of the details of the backstory on this, but I know one of their teammates died tragically just recently as a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. And so after their win, they brought out his kids onto the... God, I love my country, man. I love my country. Apparently their dad was killed by a drunk driver. That's right. Yep. Okay, so someone did send in a $47 tip exactly. And it didn't work. And I know why it didn't work. Actually, I don't know why it didn't work. Hold on a second. I thought I did, but then so I'm wondering if so the name this is the irritating thing with this. There's two different things that will break the automation, and I can't work out a streamlined testable way to fix it. One of them is if there is a non-alphanumeric character in the name that is inputted. The other is if the message itself is over 255 characters. Now, if there's an emoji that's included in the message, that can account for multiple characters. And I think that if there's a space in the name, then the space may be recognized as an alphanumeric character that it rejects, and it breaks the automation. So the person who sent the tip named themselves Horsefucker for all of history. Is written out as a sentence, and the tip said clack slurp. So thank you to whoever that was. Why does it have all these rules? Because of Streamlabs API. That's why it has all these rules. Streamlabs has these server-side API rules that I have to try to abide by, and I've got this automation connecting these things to make it happen, and so it's just this is why I'm going to try to fix it and try to do something more straightforward than this. So apologies to whoever that was. I guess if someone else wants to send a $47 tip, exactly, just make sure that you don't have any non-alphanumeric characters in the name and keep the message relatively short. I might be able to change the names as they go through the automation. That's one of the things that it gives me the instructions for how to do that. But when I tried to do it before, it just made the whole thing break down, which is like a reported issue with this, that it gets, once you're starting to chain too many instructions in there, then it starts to just kill the whole automation. So you have to automate the automation. I'm like this close to just busting out Claude and opening it up and telling it to code me up my own solution that does exactly what I want. Because that's actually conceivable. That's actually becoming a possible, like an available possibility that people can just solve things that way. So yes, Homeless Nomad says streaming software sounds like a persistent dumpster fire. There's zero reason something shouldn't be able to encode special characters in the year of our Trump 2026. So true. So true. And this is why I've been watching videos and stuff, reading more about the OpenClaw and AI, like agentic AI, as it begins to scale up, is going to just sweep through like a raging forest fire and clean out a whole bunch of these little jiggered up software as a service sort of solutions. They're just going to get just wiped out. And people are just going to be able to really easily, simply, for almost no cost, build their own custom solutions to that. I'll have more on that later. I'm going to talk about that here toward the back end of the show. I got... Hey-o! Sue!
Check Twitter DM. It's worth the 2 minutes.
Oh boy. Okay, hold on. This video may be inappropriate for some users. I understand, and I wish to proceed. Mr. Sue, what are you getting us into? He says I propose this to be the soundboard tip for 420. Oh no. Oh dear. Share.
My neighbors ask me why I'm limping down the way, and who that fellow was who came by yesterday. I quickly turn my face before I start to blush, 'cause frankly there is nothing I can say. Down, down, down. I've always had a thing for pushing the extremes, and I just got a thing you won't find in the magazines. This molded silicone has got me begging, please. of course, cock. Grab the loop and slam the day away. My shaft is quivering and my balls are turning blue as I think of drinking in a foot or even two of my favorite stallion that I keep in my top drawer. Slip it in and I'll be dripping goo as I take more cock. Horse cock, shut the door and turn the lock. Is your cock a horse cock? You will never hear me saying nay, 'cause there is no cock like horse cock. Rub my dick inside a sock. Don't stop now, horse cock. Stretch out my insides and make me bray. My lovely horse cock, horse cock. Shoop de doop dap 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 da 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 horse cock, my horse cock. Ya dap 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 da 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 da. Ya dap 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 da da da.
Cocksucker, stop.
Why? Oh, that's a banger. Oh, hold on. We gotta have a palate cleanser now.
They tell me there's words that I can't say. All the stupid rules are fucking gay. I'm listening to my favorite rap song, and I just wanna sing along, nigga. I feel like saying nigga today. Oh yeah. I feel like saying nigga tonight. Alright. But when I'm by myself driving in my car, I say nigga with a hard R.
The N-word.
Your feelings hurt. Your reaction to the word is worse. I'm just trying to celebrate black art. Now please step away from my car, nigga. I feel like saying nigga today. Oh yeah. I feel like saying nigga tonight. Alright. But when I'm by myself driving in my car, I say nigga with a hard R.
Yes, hello, it's me, a black guy.
Oh, look at my African American over here. Look at him.
N-word every time I hear it. Don't blame me, I didn't write the lyrics. I'm not a hater, I just love rap songs. Please just let me sing along, nigga. I feel like saying nigga today. Oh yeah. I feel like saying nigga tonight. Alright. But when I'm by myself driving in my car, I say nigga with a hard R. Oh fuck yeah. I feel like saying nigga today. Oh yeah. I feel like saying nigga tonight. Alright. But when I'm by myself driving in my car, I say nigga with a hard R. Oh fuck yeah. I feel like saying nigga today. Oh yeah. I feel like saying nigga tonight. Alright. But when I'm by myself driving in my car, I say nigga with a hard R.
Okay. Oh, hard archive power of guns. Ah! I didn't realize I've never had autoplay on YouTube before. I don't know why it's auto. Oh, it's because I somehow wound up in a playlist. That's weird. Thank you for that. Yes, I am definitely going to be going to be using that for the $13.50 tip. $13.50 is going to get you an excerpt from that song. It would be funny to just set it up so it just plays the whole song every time someone tips $13.50. It just plays a 4-minute song. Okay, so here's Quinn and Jack Hughes together with Austin Matthews talking to reporters afterwards, and leave it to the reporters. See, the people who are like, you mean you're smart ball, you are spiritually the same as this reporter.
I don't want to take you away from this moment. Obviously, it's a tremendous accomplishment. But in a couple of days, we're gonna have to get back to the NHL regular season. But how do you think you're gonna take, this winning experience, like in this, everything you learned with this incredible group, and kind of like take that for the rest of the season?
I'm trying to live in the moment, man. Come on.
I think it doesn't matter what anyone says now. Austin Matthews is a winner. Austin Matthews is an Olympic gold medalist. He's a winner.
Yeah, that's what the media in Toronto should be talking about. Austin Matthews led us to a championship, so.
I got nothing else to say.
Look at those young Patriots. You do not hate journalists enough.
What a fag.
Mr. Sue, no, I am not doing the no cock like horse cock for a tip alert. No. No, like maybe I'll do that for the $4,200 tip alert. How about that? I'll put in a $4,200 one, and then $69.69. That's even better. It's even higher. I'll put in a $69.69 one, and it'll play like 5 seconds. 5 seconds worth of the song. Yeah, Miles Standish, I don't want to take you away from this moment, but I also want to remind you you're on a shit team and we're actively trying to trash your potential legacy. Yes, just fire this guy. Give this guy to Elon. Let him fire him into the sun with one of his rockets. The liberal mind.
This is all.
The World Cup is happening this year in the United States. And this is going to be soccer. American soccer is like overwhelmingly, it's not, see, here's the thing, it's not totally full of libs. There's actually a ton of non-libs who are soccer fans, but they just lurk. They lurk within the shit lib communities and tolerate the libs. They just kind of skirt around them. We need to fully take back over the U.S. team culture. And there's going to be a great opportunity for it. Really, it's going to be the funniest thing, no matter what. Either we're going to get this same revival in just total jingoistic fervor around the U.S. team, and they're going to completely lib out, and just like humiliate themselves, or they're going to suddenly go on a run, which is very unlikely. But if suddenly they went on this improbable run and the whole country all rallied around them simply because they are American, do you know if MAGA Twitter started going hard in the paint around the U.S. men's national team, it would be like the worst thing imaginable to all of those shit libs, to all of those tranny communists that make up so much of the American soccer culture. You want to hurt them? You want to make them rue the day they were born? That's the way that you would do it. You will destroy the souls of a whole bunch of rainbow-blooded shit libs, and it would be glorious. Yes! Wing half!
Way to do an extra tip.
Yes, I jewed an extra tip out. It's Donald Green's. It has to be bigger. Okay, I can make that larger because you can't really see what's happening. Leaving a note for myself here. Schoolboy Q, that's right. Has anybody ever questioned that Patriots are in control? How could you trust Or how could you not trust? How could you doubt that Patriots are in control when we've got Donald Greens by Schoolboy Q? Oh, well, hold on. Ah, damn it. I have to screen share to be able to use the soundboard.
Good afternoon, Patriots. This is Agent Q.
Big 2-6 sayers in control. So true. So true. Thank you to the Wang half for the $47 tip. There was another 47 that came through, so we're actually at whatever 47 plus 98 is 138. Brain's not working. Now, this kid that I just showed you this video of, Jack Hughes here. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to be happy about this as Americans because he's a Jew. Did you know that? Did you know that he is a Jewish player? And therefore, we are not allowed to be happy about it. Even though I think I read somewhere just before when I was getting ready to go live, I read somewhere that he and his brother are Jewish, but they're actually converted Catholics. I don't know if that's true or not. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But as soon as I saw that, like, people picking that up and going with it, I just wanted to strangle these fucking dweebs. Seriously, you guys got to keep it in your pants. Did you hear this interview this kid gave? Who gives a shit? Now, this is remarkable regarding Jack Hughes. Pardon this dude, the Ball Boy podcast. This dude it's just the medium that I saw this information through. So, hold on.
I'm about to blow your mind. What the heck is that? What did I just see? This is a clip from the movie Miracle about the 1980 Miracle on Ice team. The last man cut from that team was Jack Hughes? I'm thinking, no, it's from the movie. It can't be real. It's just in the movie. No, it's real. Jack Hughes, born in 1957, drafted by the Colorado Rockies in 1977, and he was the last man cut from the 1980 Miracle on Ice Team USA men's hockey team. Now, you know where I'm going with this, right? And by the way, if you want to stay updated in the sports world, make sure you're following. Now, who do you think scored the game-winning goal for Team USA to win their first gold medal in hockey since the 1980 Miracle on Ice? Jack freaking Hughes. There are some things in life that you simply cannot explain, and this is one of them. Jack Hughes, the last man cut in 1980, scores the game-winning goal to win their first gold medal since 1980. It's also Jack Hughes. And apparently they're not even related, which makes this even crazier, bro. Straight simulation.
Bro, straight simulation, bro. But isn't that freaking crazy? What an amazing world that we live in. I think I mentioned this before, but the Lincoln JFK similarities are utterly bonkers, completely and utterly bonkers. Guys, did you know that that television is called that because it tells a vision? It's like channeling spirits. That's why they call them channels. It's a medium. That's why they call it media. I saw a message in here, Nevsky. You said that Ballbags wanted you to I too have smoked a weed. Yeah. Ballbags wanted you to tell me to play this video. Is that this one here? I went and looked, and it looked like you sent this to me a couple of days ago, but is this the one? Is this the video that you want me to play? I am vamping. Yes. Okay. All right, then. Your wish is my command. Let's go. This video is almost definitely getting pulled off of YouTube. I've seen people sharing this one, but I hadn't watched it yet.
Take what I want, even until front, cause I'm the Fuhrer. Poland and Austria, Czechoslovakia, yeah, I want them. Blitz and a crease, and in the Kriegsmarine, place I surrendered. Getting through your head what the Fuhrer said, not money lenders. Hate to say I told you so, say I'll blood and soil. To believe I told you so. Madison Jews, now you know. It won't be salutes. Indicating the pace without masteries, that's not my problem. Gonna need that never slow. Wait, we're outnumbered. No way, I'll die inside a fucking bunker.
Adolf Hitler, if you can hear me, please save us.
Say I told you so. See oil. Blood soil.
Blink 1488.
You believe I told you so.
We do have the Secrets Kyles.
Religion is based.
I've been lost since Operation Barbarossa. Just like Napoleon, I shouldn't have gone into Russia. Only care about Aryans, don't give a shit about the others. If it all goes wrong, we can go to Argentina or Augusta. Thank you once and thank you twice. Now say out in my name, you know you wanna. What you talking about, man? I just say grab some fruits, positions awkward. Say
Wanna kill the Jews?
Say
What a freaking heater! Thank you, Nevsky and Ballbags, for recommending that. I waited too long to see it. I saw people sharing it around, and I should have watched it. But I'm glad I got to see it for the first time here with you guys. So Trump has congratulated the team. He called them in the locker room. This is what he said.
This is your favorite president, and I just wanted to congratulate Team USA Hockey on their gold medal victory over Canada, or as I like to call them, Snow Mexico. But I got off the phone with Prime Minister Carney, and she's very upset about it. She's not happy about it, but she'll get over it. I told her, quiet, piggy. Shut the Kachuk up and be quiet, because the winners are here. You look at the Kachuk brothers. They did a fantastic job. You look at, I get along very well with him, Connor Hellebuck, and he did a tremendous job. You know, he's they call him a netminder. I call him a goalie. But he did a fantastic job in net. The only thing more secure than Connor Hellebuck is our southern border. It's a tremendous border. Nothing gets through. And Connor Hellebuck was fantastic. Jack Hughes, they say you don't know Jack. I know Jack very well. And he scored the game-winning goal. It was a beautiful shot. Nobody's ever seen a better shot before. It was a tremendous shot. But our team won. You know, you look at it. Canada's French came out at the wrong time. You never want to go full French, because once you do, it means you're going to lose. And that's what happened to Canada. Poor Snow Mexico, and they're all very upset about it. But congratulations to Team USA on the gold. We love gold. Nobody loves gold as much as I do. We're going to tariff Canada's silver medals at 25%. The Supreme Court could chew on that. And to Canada, first we took your sport. Next we may take your country if we want to do that. Congratulations, Team USA. God bless America. And thank you for your attention to this matter.
Never go full French. He is so freaking good. And he has, hands down, he has won it. There are other Trump impressionists who are good, who have their own vein in which they're good. But just overall, delivery, everything. This guy, Sean Farash, 100% the best. Now here is the actual call. You guys are going to have to listen up close with this one probably to actually hear him, but I listened through the whole thing and I think you can hear him well enough to tell what he's saying. So here is Kash Patel holding up his phone, the president has called him, and he's talking to the boys in the locker room afterwards. Look at the coronas. The guys are all trashed. And listen to the way he talks to them and the way that they talk to him.
Watch 1 minute. 1 minute. And by the way, your goalie played not bad.
Howie, say hi. Howie, say hi to him.
How you doing, Don? I have seen hockey goalies have slightly worse games. It's unbelievable, and you were all unbelievable. And that team is pretty good you played. I don't know if it's not going to begin anytime soon, right? And, I tell you what, I just told my people 2 minutes ago, I didn't know they'd be calling. I said, we're giving the State of the Union speech on Tuesday night. I could send a military plane or something, but if you would like to, it's the coolest night, it's the biggest.
We're in.
Yeah.
Can you pick us up in Miami on Tuesday morning?
Yeah, Tuesday morning. Close the northern border.
We'll get cash and we'll get the military to get you guys over.
Let's go.
Boys are going to the State of the Union.
The nice thing about being president is I can tell you, you don't have to worry about the weather or landing. So we don't care if it's snowing, if it's the worst blizzard, we'll be sailing through that sucker just like you did on the ice.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Now we'll do it at the White House anytime. What would really be cool, and we'll do the White House the next day, we'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay? But anyway, if you could work that out, I would be honored to have you. I'll introduce you to the whole...
I got it, boss. I got it.
Okay, you got it, Cash.
I'm on it.
Cash is doing it. I'm happy.
I'm fucking on it.
Congratulations. That was an unbelievable game. I don't know if one person that wasn't... Everybody that called me said, I'm watching the hockey game. I don't know if anybody that wasn't. And you're going to be proud of that game for 50 years as you grow older. I mean, it was amazing. So we love you guys. Congratulations. And I hope to see you, Cash, Tuesday night. And I want to shake hands. I'm going to shake hands with everybody. But I got to shake hands with that goalie.
Tuesday night. We'll see you Tuesday night, Mr. President.
See you Tuesday night.
I'm driving the bus, boss. We're bringing the whole bus.
Okay, the whole thing's really good until the very end. Until the very end. Cash says that he's going to drive the bus. And no. We don't need any more of those. We don't need any Indian drivers. Cash, you hang out with the boys. Go just pound the domestics. We're going to get a white man to drive. Otherwise, what an amazing video. That's my fucking president. Imagine being one of these young white boys. Proud of your country. Your fucking FBI director is partying with you. And he calls the president and you sit there and chat with the president and he's like, boys, don't worry. I'm going to send the fucking military to pick you up to make sure that you're here in time. Oh, by the way, I got to bring the bitches too. I can't help it. I'd get impeached if I didn't. So we'll bring them along, but you're the ones. You're the guys that I want to see. He didn't call the women and do this with them. He just did this with the boys. My president loves the boys. My president knows his sports. He is a puck knower. What a beautiful frickin' call. Look at this. Someone said, Mr. President, you just had your 4th assassination attempt since 2024 this morning. How are you feeling? The president literally had a dude break into Mar-a-Lago that morning to try to kill him. Motherfucker got slimed. The president's like, hold on, don't bother me with that. Don't bother me with that. I got a hockey game to watch. What a game, President DJT. Lots of winning. This is 2026 in Donald Trump's America. Lots of winning from President Donald J. Trump. Thank you, Mr. President. You told us there would be so much winning.
I am your voice.
And to our enemies,
your defeat will be certain, your demise will be final, and your downfall will be total and complete. We're going to kill you. We're going to give you the death penalty or kill you.
Oh, the civil liberties, and oh my gosh, what about the human rights? And oh no, it's so bad.
What to say to the American hockey fans? The United States of America! Canada's on top of the hockey world, and we're going to prove it tonight!
I didn't like it.
Seconds in, another one, 1 second later. 9 seconds in.
now those are some wang halves. Or, well, actually, yeah.
I'm a human nigger going hard as fuck.
There you go.
In 20 years, they're going to make 5 different movies in a 2-year period about how U.S. hockey beating the Canadians signified the start of the downfall of gay race communism in the West. Just like the 1980 U.S. team beating the USSR signified the start of the downfall of the USSR. Listen to these boys.
Okay, guys, you told me you're watching Miracle, growing up, dreaming about this. You're living it right now. How does it feel?
It's hockey's our game. Hockey's the United States of America's game. It's the greatest country in the world. We have, the best support ever. Hundreds of millions of people back home. So many people in St. Louis. Everyone in St. Louis. We could feel the support, whether they're hockey fans or not. Everyone's watching. Everyone better be partying right now. Everyone better be wearing the red, white, and blue for as long as they can. It should be like a month mandate. Wear the red, white, and blue.
So true.
In the United States and celebrate us and the other Olympian gold medalists.
How you feeling, Brady?
I mean, I feel on top of the world. Just to do it with all my brothers here, and there's so many people that we could thank. I mean, Matthew said everybody in St. Louis, all their family and friends, and even every first responder, everybody that protects and serves our country, like, this is for them. This is for every American and
all the military putting their life on the line for us.
Every single person wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So we're super blessed and super grateful.
White males way up. White males have gone through the roof. White males way up.
I made us go in number order, but it was my voice is starting to go because of that. I haven't screamed that long and that loud for a long time. So it's it's incredible.
I heard Ultras help with the sore throat.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. I'll test that out.
Yeah. With you two and Clayton and Joy Dunn on the women's side, that's 4 gold medals coming back to St. Louis. What does that say about St. Louis hockey?
I mean, they developed all of us, and we wouldn't be here without the youth hockey in St. Louis, the people, the community, the youth hockey. So for all those kids wondering if they want to play hockey or not in St. Louis, I'd give it a try. Cause you never
literally
know, you
wrapped in the flags.
You have great coaches and good support. You could be an Olympic medalist.
Here's some angry Canadians. This one says, bomb that whole stupid fucking country, hit every ugly player on that fuck-ass team with a semi-truck. And Homan's top guy, at Passcode Ronald, said, Canada has become so spiritually Indian, they're threatening to hit us with semi-trucks. Pub Wang Half said Canada came in second place in its own sport to the United States while drug cartels burned Mexico. They're calling it the most North American day in history. And then this one. I may have to apologize to my Leaf brethren out there because this may be hard to hear, but some truths just need to be said. And I maybe I held some false ideas about the Westboro Baptist Church. I may need to rethink some things.
Canada is a filthy country run by fags. We know. Our church has had a lot of bad dealings with those demon-possessed Canadians. Canadians are afraid of their tyrannical, fag-run government. You can determine for yourself about Canada and keep as far away from them as you can. You might end up decapitated. The rule of law has broken down in fag-run Canada. God hates Canada. Canada.
Literally, Every single sentence in that. literally every single sentence in that could go on the soundboard. Here's the problem. I've only got 3 more slots. And I'll have, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 80. I've got 77 sounds on the soundboard right now. I've only got 3 more. So I'm going to have to definitely get the first sentence.
Canada is a filthy country run by fags.
Canada is a filthy country run by fags. Do I need to replace the what the fuck is a kilometer one? Which one's better?
What the fuck is a kilometer?
Or
Canada is a filthy country run by fags.
There was also, like, I think the last sentence here.
The rule of law has broken down in fag-run Canada. God hates Canada.
Oh my God. The Canadian flag is flying at half-mast today after losing the Olympic gold medal to the United States in hockey. Another one that just had me rolling. You guys will have to you'll have to view this one. You'll have to look at the screen on this one here. I'll leave it to you guys to. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll have to open it up and look at it. And then this one here. First of all, this reaction meme here was just an insta yoink. That one went straight into the reaction memes folder from White Boy Summer Respecter. But this chick says, Team USA celebrating with MAGA admin in the locker room is why it's depressing to lose this game. It's vile watching people who normalize bigotry and hate celebrating a victory in a tournament meant to symbolize sportsmanship and peace across borders. And look at this. 18+/NSFW Twitter linked below. I say once again.
Canada is a filthy country run by fags.
Proof. Right there. And then this one here. Leftists who fled America for Canada because of Trump are panicked after realizing their socialist dream has horrible affordability.
I'm a scholar of the far right who has...
Okay. That's all I needed to hear. No, actually, I'll play it for you guys. But Zur is a scholar of the far right.
I'm a scholar of the far right who has fled the United States to Canada, and I need help.
Scholars might be here, he thought to himself. I hate scholars.
The situation in Canada is absolutely dire. For Americans who don't know, the housing crisis here is worse than in the United States. I lived in LA for 6 years, and I have not faced rent as bad as here. When my partner, our cat, and our dog fled the United States, we headed north with the goal of being close to where our families are located, which is on the West Coast. So we are now in British Columbia. More specifically, we are in the Sea to Sky Highway in the Greater Vancouver area. We are attempting to find housing in this, the western side
Silly
of
woman.
this region. My partner
Shut up,
and I are
bitch.
here on a
Shut
visitor
the
visa,
fuck up,
which
bitch.
is 6 months possible stay for America.
That's all the relevant ones that I have in there. Oh, I've also got this one.
Faggot? Yeah. I just did.
Yeah, but would you
faggot,
use it?
faggot.
Okay.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Oh, nigga, you gay.
You're gay.
I think, is that all the gay-related ones that I have? Oh, no, there's this one.
No thanks, irrelevant pervert.
There. I think that's all the homosexuality ones I have. There's this one.
You filthy Democrat.
Oh. See, all of this is to say that you cannot witness events like this that absolutely crush and demoralize your enemy's spirits and not yourself be uplifted, re-energized by them. Which one? This one? Get that? Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, wait, I have to share the screen for you guys to hear it.
Get that ugly, disabled freak away from me. I don't want to look at his fucked up face. His smushed in, garbled, baby, disabled face. I don't want to look at it. No, we're not doing that. You're getting called a slur. I don't know which one. Whichever one I feel like saying at the moment. You're getting called a slur.
I've got so many on here. Oh yeah, Sam Hyde chewing food and laughing. Okay, I got to add that one. I'm gonna have to get rid of some more here because some of these are all timers. Sam Hyde chewing and laughing. I'll have to do the entire clip for that one. JT Alexander here. Oh, here's where I got that. Here's where I got the $47 tip alert. If you guys couldn't fully see the video, this is what it is. Donald Greens. Someone said Mexico currently in civil war against cartels. Canada only gold in the Olympics as being the most raped country around. And then this is America. JT Alexander here, a recent powerful mutual and excellent patriot poster, said fascinating to watch the veil of North American continental exceptionalism slip. Mexico being in a state of civil war with narco cartels isn't new. Canada having a seething hatred of Americans isn't new. American culture is, in fact, so dominant that a sort of outgroup homogeneity bias was inflicted upon the world, creating this image of the three North American nation states as co-equal peers with little difference between us. This illusion was so dense that even Americans bought into it wholeheartedly, which led to such stupid ideas as NAFTA. In reality, to the north, Canada has always been a highly underdeveloped backwater, LARPing as a real country. Canada's population meridians are further south than Minneapolis and further east than Detroit. The vast majority of the country is uninhabited and unexplored wilderness. The highest aspiration most Canadians have had over the past 75 years has been moving to America, and those that cannot are infused with a feminine envy that manifests in passive aggression and self-affirmation. Canada's solution to this is to import infinity South Asians and facilitate the suicide of their self-loathing population. In reality, to the south, Mexico has been in a state of war for most of its history and most of its civil wars. We awkwardly pretend that everything is okay as we politely pretend we didn't catch our neighbor beating his wife after a daily 30 wreck. Go look at the numbers involved in Mexico's drug wars. Roughly 500,000 dead. It's neck and neck with the American Civil War. If Mexico's revolution hadn't been the deadliest war in North American history, the ongoing drug war would probably end up taking that spot by the time it's over. Canada has always been the jealous incel to America's Chad status, and Mexico has always been the recreational DV family on the block. North America was never exceptional. The Americas were never exceptional. The United States of America, we are the ones who have been utterly exceptional. I'm pleased people are finally seeing it. It's a hard truth. I know, Leaf brethren. But it is a truth. And once you accept that truth, a great future awaits you. We will invite you in with open arms to enjoy the great riches that have been bestowed upon America by God in heaven. A banger tweet. Look at this. Look at this. This is America. The waterboard bench press with 315 pounds.
Hi, I'm Huck Finn, and I'm about to get waterboarded. Let's go. Let's go. Hi, I'm Huck Finn.
Lee says, I fucking love America, man. Haji spent 20 years whining about cruel torture techniques like waterboarding, and we got dudes doing it for fun as they bench 315 for reps while their buddy with a handgun tucked into his basketball shorts pours liquor and Miller Lite on the rag. This is my country, man. This is my fucking country. Miles Standish says Canada is literally just not America, the country. This is all extra funny to me because I did live in Canada for a few years, and I actually really enjoy Canadians and Canada. I just think that they're better suited as embracing their status as America's subservient little brother. And I can tell who's not watching the show by all the $3 and $5 tips that I'm not getting right now yelling at me. Here's an average non-American L.
Also been on record about English food being better than American. I'm curious if you still hold that opinion.
What would you classify as American food? Let's just talk about that.
I immediately think about barbecue, so hamburgers.
Okay, hamburger is German, from Hamburg. What else would you consider American food?
French fries.
Nachos were invented for Americans by a cafe that catered to Americans. I admit that it happened in Ciudad Juarez. Hamburgers were invented by Americans, either a Texan in St. Louis or a Texan in Texas. Creole food is American and was developed out of almost nothing about 1830 when the governor of Louisiana called upon the black cooks of New Orleans to develop a cuisine good enough for the French merchants and administrators to stay here. Cajun food is American and was developed out of whatever the hell was in the swamp at the time. Asian fusion is American and is a testament to Californian ingenuity. Sandwiches weren't invented by Americans, but were certainly perfected by us. No other nation has a sandwich breadth as vast as ours, from cheesesteak to Reuben to hot brown to club. I've had sandwiches in 8 European nations, and they were all weaker. Southern food is American and ought to be renowned worldwide. Tex-Mex is American, developed by Hispanics in America. Hot dogs were invented by German immigrants living in America. Lobster rolls and clam chowder originated in New England. General Tso's chicken was invented in America, not China. French dip sandwiches originated in California. S'mores are 100% American. And pizza is American too. It was just a simple peasant food in Napoli before it came here and became the wonder it is now. Then when Americans went to Italy in the 60s, they asked for pizza, and the Italians were like, what, you mean that Napolitano street food for poor people? Now they claim it, but it's ours. Oh, Italian sodas? Invented in San Francisco. And you didn't even mention barbecue, Virginia hams, fry bread, baked beans, cranberry sauce, on and on and on and on. Never again. These are official rules for the internet going forward. Never again is anyone allowed to say that there is no distinct American food or that American cuisine is not superior to everything else. What cuisines originated outside America were only perfected by America. In the same way that to be a patriot, that the status of patriot is owned by Americans, the status of good cuisine is owned by Americans. Everyone else is just fighting for second place. Okay, so Cynical Publius here, one of our sweet old boomers, says, just for the record, I totally support our initial mission in there, speaking of Afghanistan. He says, we needed to go in and wipe out Al-Qaeda and try to get bin Laden. But once that was accomplished, the first part at least, what we should have done was secure an airfield like BAF or KAF, established a robust SOF and USAF strike capability on that base, and basically use that base to hit any resurgence of the Al-Qaeda bases and nothing else. That could have gone on indefinitely, but any of that nation-building crap that we actually did was doomed to failure from the start. And I only read that to you because I wanted to read you this from The Stink Eye. He says, I have a different position. On 9/12, I would have told Kabul to hand over bin Laden. When they refused, I would have scheduled a sunrise at 2 a.m. local time in an uninhabited area near Kabul. On 9/13, I would have asked a second time. When they refused, I would have vaporized Kandahar. On 9/14, I would have asked a third time. There would have been no need for further discussion. The world needs a reminder of exactly who they're fucking with. In the end, my way would have likely resulted in fewer total casualties on both sides, less treasure expended, and a reinforcement of the Pax Americana. Now, as soon as I finished reading that tweet, I did like that Down syndrome guy where I took the 2 glass beers and smashed them together and started drinking from them. But then I paused after that and thought, this is basically Donald Trump's foreign policy in a tweet. He's going to speak loudly and carry a big stick, and he will use that stick. He will wield his stick against you. He will club you with his stick very happily and will ensure that he receives no clubbing in return. Skudovnevsky says all of his patriotism has me wired up and it's past my bedtime. Yeah, we got to do a little jingoism every now and then, just to remind the people out there, just to remind them of what we're about. we got a jingoist every once in a while. All right, I'm going to give you guys a little leftist ass eating, and then we're going to talk about Iran, and we're going to listen to the MAGA grandmas. I will be right back. Enjoy your entertainment.
Your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like sizing up? I'm gonna haul him up back chain. Chop his ass up, size it up. I'm gonna haul him up back chain. Chop, 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 chop. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast, and I'll tell them, well, I killed a cow out back, baby. You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. And that's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I'm going to get my hands around your throat.
You know, it's funny. I was hacking and coughing while I was walking around the house here earlier, getting ready for the show. Just, I'm amazed my voice has held up the way it has. And I realized, I think maybe the reason that it has is because of the minty lip pillows that I've got in. I wonder if that's if the mint is sort of soothing or something like that. All right. Let's talk a little bit about Iran. So everyone's all, you're going to have war in Iran and everything. And I think a lot of the Iran conversation gets, for very obvious reasons, gets bogged down into a focus on Iran's relationship to Israel. But I actually think that the more important relationship here is Iran with China. And I've got some thoughts here, including some from Matt Forney, toward this end. So this guy, trucker friend here, says, instead of starting a war with a shithole country in the middle of nowhere, we should deport 100 million people and restore America. Now! Great. Thanks for the tweet. Talking Headless says, I'm not pro-war with Iran necessarily. I don't really think it matters either way, but it is worth pointing out that war with Iran doesn't actually stop us from doing those other things as well. They aren't mutually exclusive. And then the Duke of Animal Husbandry here says, holy shit, how is everybody so dumb about this? The point of Iran is obviously China and Russia. Can we please remember Venezuela? It happened like 9 seconds ago. The oil tankers? What percentage of China's oil comes from where? How many drones and missiles is Iran exporting? Talking Headless says, you're better versed in geopolitics than myself. I'm mostly knowledgeable about domestic issues. From what I understand, Venezuela was the right choice for oil reasons, among others. Is the situation similar? And the Duke of Animal Husbandry here says, China is critically dependent on imports, and turning Iran would seriously change the calculus of something like a Taiwan invasion. The exiled former crown prince of Iran, Persia, has been in the news recently. The funniest possible thing would be to black bag Khomeini and reinstall the previous guy. That would make him an instant ally and also be a huge middle finger to the old American foreign policy order that Trump is currently killing. Now, I'll say here that that the previous guy, the former crown prince, is obviously the the front for the British, and this is like a British and French operation to try to install him there. Trump has been resisting it precisely for that reason. But I appreciate the spirit of this here. He says the CIA did the Iranian Revolution in the 70s, right? This would be literally undoing all of their work. It would actually be a signal that you can have a predictable relationship with the U.S. We're no longer in the business of cooing you for no reason. Do business? Good. Fuck around? Find out. Venezuela was for aura, get fucked Chavez, and oil. But I've also read that Iran was setting up drone and missile factories there, and Venezuela is in medium-range strike distance of Florida, plus makes the Caribbean hostile. If we had to respond to a China fight, we'd need to move ships and supplies through Panama, but that's not safe if it's contested. Noises about Greenland are the same deal, shipping lanes, which are also Navy logistics lanes. I'm not an expert in this region, but I would not be surprised to see some action in Somaliland. Plus, there's something going on with Saudi-backed rebels in southern Yemen. That's both sides of the Strait of Hormuz, a potential setup for securing the Suez. I fully expect Trump to take back the Panama Canal, and he won't be asking. And so here's China's crude imports. Iran, Saudi Arabia are the two biggest ones, but Iran is clearly head and shoulders above the rest. Talking Headless says, interesting. I appreciate the well-thought-out answer. As much as this makes sense, I'm not sure if it's worth the podcast or backlash. We're still constrained by the limits of democracy. Any backlash significant enough to allow left win would result in 4 more years of open borders, which I'm not sure we could survive. And the Duke of Animal Husbandry says, that was literally just a stream of consciousness of stuff I've picked up while avoiding doing my day job. Any podcaster who hasn't noticed these Bronze League map game patterns should ritually castrate themselves out of shame. So true. I just wanted to read all of that so I could provide the context for this tweet right here. This dude is a patriot. He's just doing his day job, trying to avoid doing his day job, and just listening to things. He's just out there listening to things. And he's picked this up. He's figured out enough to understand the basics of it. He's not exactly factually correct on all the things or whatever, but directionally, he's figured it out just from sitting around listening to stuff every day. If you are a podcaster, if you're doing this professionally, or if you are someone maybe who isn't a podcaster, but you're listening to this stuff all the time, or you're just sitting around listening, filling your head with politics podcast content, you have no excuse for not understanding the lay of the land right now. Matt Forney quote tweets this, says, good post on the necessity of destroying Iran. Spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with Israel. China is going to declare war on the U.S. in the next 5 years. He overstates it, I think. It's Matt Forney. This is how he talks. They want vengeance on the white man for the century of humiliation. But unlike America, which can seal itself off from the outside world and be self-sufficient, China lacks key resources like oil that can sustain a military-industrial complex or a modern economy for that matter. Iran is one of their key sources of oil. Smashing Iran cuts the legs out from underneath the Chinese war machine in the same way that the Anglo-Soviet invasion of Iran in the 40s caused irreparable harm to Nazi Germany. This is also why Trump blackbagged Maduro, wants to annex Canada and Greenland, killed USAID, and has been helping friendly right-wingers take power in Latin America. It's about shoring up our supply lines, Fortress America, while cutting China's. By the way, there isn't going to be some Iraq-style invasion of Iran. Some of you were so utterly raped during the Bush years that you have no conception of what it looks like when America fights a war to win. Iran is such a degenerate failed state, a literal gerontocracy run by men in their 80s, large sections of their population infertile due to STDs, and a heroin epidemic, that we can probably just vaporize Khomeini from orbit, put Reza Pahlavi back on the throne, and that will be it. China is already falling, their middle class is wiped out, the tariffs have crushed their economy, and we're no longer importing from them. Trump is giving them just a little push. Now, again, I think he's overstating that to some degree. I think that this is the perspective he's talking about, like the furthest, like, upwardmost case for the most hostile belligerents within China, who are themselves deeply influenced by whatever you want to call it, City of London, Davos, European banking families, the old British Empire. They're the ones who still have a strong presence within China, and they're trying to manipulate things. Each of these countries, China, Iran, all of them have multiple different factions all warring within them. Interestingly, the Europeans are actually kind of the least in terms of the actual number of factions that hold power and are vying against each other. The European nations are more centralized, relatively speaking, than, for example, Iran or China. In that Iran and China both have numerous different, approximately equal factions that are all duking it out with each other. So there are also large segments of the leadership class in China that want to be able to do business with the United States, and they're open to negotiating and resolving things through trade. But I think it's easy for us to look at our own nation and be like, oh, there's all these different factions that are sort of moving around from coalition to coalition. But then we look at the outside nations and assume that they're just some sort of monolithic entity, and they're definitely not. So now the Israel relationship to Iran is, with respect to the current administration, the Israel relationship with Iran is an irritant. It's a distraction. It's a potential diversionary flashpoint that they're trying to keep toned down so that they can resolve the chaos within Iran. They're actually trying to extract order out of chaos within Iran, and they're applying a lot of pressure that way while trying to hold off the Israel lobby and its representation in Congress. And so when you think of Iran, if the first thing you think of is Israel, then you are locked into that Zionist dialectic, where you think the entire world revolves around Israel. But it's actually much more important. The reason that the administration, especially the primary movers and shakers within the administration, the reason they're focused on Iran is because of its relationship to China. Let's see, there was... This guy says, ironically, dislodging the Islamic regime would also make Israel far less dependent on the U.S. and would probably be replaced by an Iranian ally as the U.S. #1 ally of the region. And Matt Forney says, I've argued before that our current reliance on Israel is a direct result of Jimmy Carter letting the Shah fall. Pre-revolution, Iran was our main ally in the region, and Israel was a friendly neutral at best. I do think that it's very clear to me at this point that Reza Pahlavi is effectively a British agent. He's a globalist stooge. But I think that these sorts of things can be fluid. Guys like that are almost definitionally for sale. So all of these things are fluid, and it's really easy to just kind of like take a snapshot of the world at one time and then just base all of your assessment or analysis of it on that single snapshot. But especially right now, as we're going through this period of turmoil and upheaval and sort of a transition between ages, you always have to be on the lookout for people who decide to switch sides. For someone who gets bought off, someone who gets blackmailed, someone who gets a lot of these things, people are adapting with them as they go. So I'm not going to say that if somehow Pahlavi winds up installed that means Trump is losing. It could be. It could mean that they made some sort of gambit and they lost. It could also mean that he was effectively turned or flipped. And so, yeah, you just have to watch things as they happen. Now, I've got starting to feel my voice getting a little scratchy, but hopefully it'll last through the next little bit. I'll give it a break here for about 14 and a half minutes. Well, actually less than that because I got it on 1 1/4 as we listen to one of our great MAGA grandmas, Susan Kokenda from Promethean Action, says Trump called out the foreign interests behind the Supreme Court's tariff decision, and it's not just China. The same week, 60 nations answered his call at the Board of Peace. One system is dying, another is being born. This is from their Saturday wrap.
Yesterday, President Trump responded to the Supreme Court's tariff decision with a statement that cut through all the legal noise.
It's my opinion that the court has been swayed by foreign interests and a political movement that is far smaller than people would ever think.
Foreign interests behind the Supreme Court. That's a serious charge, and most of the coverage will stop there. They'll obsess over who the president was angry at, Gorsuch, Roberts, or they will only focus on China, an obvious target. But if that's as far as you go, you've missed the point entirely. Take a step back and hold the president's statement up against the other major event this week, Thursday's historic Board of Peace meeting, where 60 nations answered President Trump's call to build something new, and where the president made a not-so-offhand remark about Henry Kissinger.
We had some conflicts, to put it mildly, in the world, and I said, Steve, how would you like to be Henry Kissinger Jr. that doesn't leak?
Because when you put those two things together, a very specific picture emerges. Not a president venting about a court ruling, but of a president who understands exactly what he's fighting, and he's naming it out loud. I'm Susan Kokenda, Those foreign interests? Well, I've tracked them for decades. They are the same forces we fought the American Revolution against, and for most of those decades, they've stayed hidden. So if you want to look behind the curtain, hit those like, subscribe, and share buttons so we can stay in touch and spread our reach. Here's what I'm going to cover today. First, what foreign interests actually means, and why the tariff fight is a direct continuation of the battle between the American system and the British imperial financial model. Second, how much of the world is rallying behind President Trump's Board of Peace and its anti-imperial vision, and the significance of Henry Kissinger in that regard. And third, what this moment demands of the American people, because anger alone is not going to win this fight. So who are these foreign interests? The president was careful. He said China-centric forces were behind the lawsuits. That is, people who, quote, have business in China and want to keep ripping us off. But look who actually filed the friend of the court briefs against the president's tariff authority. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the Cato Institute. These are not Chinese communist front groups. These are the most venerable bastions of Adam Smith's free trade ideology, an ideology which opened the floodgates for cheap Chinese goods to wipe out our manufacturing and to hollow out our middle class for decades.
More like bastards, if you're asking me. Yeah, the Cato Institute. So true, Slutty Milk. Get it? Because they're libertarians. They're homosexuals. Libertarians. Putting the L in LGBT since the death of Rothbard or something like that.
So it's not really China, is it? Now listen to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent speaking to the Dallas Economic Club shortly after the court released its tariff decision. And Bessent went out of his way to say that he had not changed one word of his speech in reaction to the decision. Why? Because this administration did not need a flawed court decision to tell them who the enemy is.
Economic security is the foundation that allows a country to fulfill its most basic obligation of safeguarding its people. Safeguarding its people.
You're gay!
Unfortunately, past administrations lost sight of this fundamental truth, allowing faux efficiency gains and short-sighted profit obsession to eclipse security resilience and long-term value.
Fake efficiency gains, short-sighted profit obsession. That's not a description of Chinese policy. That's a description of the British liberal free trade system, the system that measures everything by how much money can be extracted from a nation and its people, leaving an economic wasteland and shattered lives behind. But what was the fundamental truth that past administrations had abandoned? Here's what Secretary Bessent said.
From the earliest days of the Republic, our founding fathers understood that independence required economic security. The ability to produce essential goods, sustain public credit, and foster domestic industry was seen as the foundation of sovereignty by Alexander Hamilton. And it still is.
Did you catch that? Our Treasury Secretary now joins Trade Ambassador Jamieson Greer in declaring that this administration's policy is a Hamiltonian policy, and it is the foundation of our economic sovereignty. And let's not forget who Alexander Hamilton.
Real quick, there was 3 things that he listed there.
Security. The ability to produce essential goods, sustain public credit.
The ability to produce essential goods, sustain public credit, and foster domestic industry.
And foster domestic industry was seen as the foundation of sovereignty by Alexander Hamilton. And it still is.
Did you catch that? Our Treasury Secretary now joins Trade Ambassador Jamieson Greer in declaring that this administration's policy is a Hamiltonian policy, and it is the foundation of our economic sovereignty. And let's not forget who Alexander Hamilton and the infant American Republic were fighting. Not Chinese communists. They were fighting King George, the Bank of England, and the British East India Company. The same imperial free trade system that now in its 21st century globalist form that the Chamber of Commerce and the Cato Institute are defending. If the nature of this fight is new to you, and if you haven't been following us, then it's time for you to go to the Promethean Action website and subscribe to our free newsletter. We will bring you into the real fight. The link is in the description. Now, as far as the Supreme Court's decision nullifying IEEPA as a vehicle for imposing tariffs, the President and Bessent made clear that the authority exists through many other provisions and there will be no let-up in the administration's defense of American industry and workers. Yesterday, the President moved quickly to sign a new 10%
I'll have more on the tariff thing here in the Supreme Court in just a minute after this video.
10% global tariff using other laws, and Bessent said that the tariff revenue in 2026 will be virtually unchanged. But here's what matters most. The day before the court ruled, President Trump was in Georgia, making the human case for what this fight is actually about, and inviting the American people to see it with their own eyes. Here's how the owner of the factory that Trump spoke at put it.
It's been a game changer. We were competing with China. They had taken all of it. They were producing racks at $90 a piece. Our cost alone is $150. You've leveled it. The playing field's back.
So when I came in and we did what we had to do to save all these businesses, you went through the roof, right?
We did. Our quotes, our orders, we're so busy now, we don't know what to do. My lead time now on an order is 36 weeks. We were at a point in time with our RATS divisions, we were laying off workers. We were working one shift, 3 days a week, begging for work. Now it's the exact opposite.
That was a steel company, owner of a steel company he was talking to.
One shift, 3 days a week, to now having to turn away business. And in his speech, the president said that his policies have created 5,000 manufacturing jobs in Georgia alone and 70,000 construction jobs, building more factories that will employ more people as soon as they're opened up. These aren't economic statistics. That's the difference between a dying country and a living one. And the foreign interests behind Friday's court decision want to take that away. Well, they've failed, but they'll try again. And that's exactly why you need to understand what happened Thursday at the Board of Peace meeting, because it shows you not just what Trump is defending, but what he's building in the place of this dying system. Now, when Donald Trump introduced his special envoy, Steve Witkoff, to the Board of Peace, he used a line that deserves far more attention than it got.
And I said, Steve, how would you like to be Henry Kissinger Jr. that doesn't leak? And he said, are you a leaker, Steve? No, he didn't even know what the word meant, and it's true. I always say Henry Kissinger, who was one of the great leakers of all time, by the way, Richard Nixon said to him, Henry, who's leaking all this stuff? I don't know, Mr. President, it was Henry.
That's not a joke.
I'm not a leaker. I always get every last dropout first.
That is a very precisely directed statement. And you can bet that many of the people sitting in that room understood the role that Kissinger had played in the last century in the empire's policy of perpetual war. Henry Kissinger was one of the architects of the post-war order that Trump is now dismantling. And if you want to know who Kissinger was leaking to, just look at his infamous speech to London's Chatham House in 1982.
It's fascinating that Trump made this reference. I didn't know about this until I saw this video. My president's a ball knower. He's a puck knower and a ball knower.
When he said, I kept the British...
Just don't tell Elon.
To London's Chatham House in 1982. When he said, I kept the British Foreign Office better informed and more closely engaged than I did the American State Department. On the empire's behalf, Kissinger didn't manage peace. He managed conflict, keeping nations locked in permanent tensions and permanent negotiation. That was the system. That was the point. Trump didn't just pick Steve Witkoff because he isn't a leaker. He picked him because this administration's policy is the polar opposite of Kissinger's and the empire's. And Marco Rubio made clear that President Trump has thrown out that old rule book.
President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, has both an ability and a willingness to use the power of his office to think outside the box. This Gaza situation was impossible to solve under orthodoxy, under existing structures.
Impossible under orthodoxy. That's the key phrase. Because the imperial system doesn't just tolerate perpetual conflict, it requires it. It was designed to keep the imperial or globalist system in place, which is why it never took up the challenge of real economic development for the region. It was always happy to let everyone fight forever and just extract the oil. The president of Kazakhstan put the alternative in the simplest possible terms.
It's about making durable peace through practical, target-oriented measures, but not through endless conferences with wishful resolutions. The world has never seen a move like this. It is absolutely unprecedented because, in essence, peace through construction is a very innovative concept.
Peace through construction. Not peace through managed negotiation that never resolves anything, but construction. And economic growth, which is the only durable basis for peace. And here's what it looks like in practice. This is what was announced on Thursday. $7 billion already committed from Gulf and Central Asian nations. The United States pledging $10 billion, which is only 2 weeks of what a war costs, as the president put it. 100,000 homes in Rafah as a starting point. A Palestinian police force with 2,000 applicants on its first day of recruiting. This isn't some hollow framework. This is an up-and-running operation. But perhaps the most powerful voice in that room came from the youngest head of state present, the president of Paraguay.
I think that of the many things that you have achieved in the last 12 months as president of the U.S., I think the greatest thing, and I'm probably the youngest head of state here, is hope, President. We have lost hope about solving problems for many, many decades. A system that was broken, a system that was not able to bring solutions. Now we're seeing that thanks for your leadership, we are solving the issues.
In fewer terms, no fucking black pilling. My president is bringing hope. He's bringing hope to the land. Reminder.
The only acceptable political theory is complete undying loyalty to Donald Trump.
Let me see how I can shoehorn this one in here. The libs, when they see Trump coming.
Stop raping, sir.
a broken system that couldn't produce solutions. He's describing exactly what Kissinger built and what the Chamber of Commerce and the Cato Institute went to court to protect. A globalist system that manages the world through war and free trade. The Board of Peace is built on the opposite premise, that human beings, given security and economic opportunity, will recognize each other as creators and builders rather than enemies. 60 nations answered that call on Thursday, because for the first time in decades, someone offered them something the empire never would, an exit from the system that was destroying them. Now, what transpired in that room on Thursday is something that every American needs to understand. That the enemy is not another person or a religion or a country, it is a system. But if you think that system is going to sit back and let the president dismantle their economic and strategic power without a fight, you don't understand how evil they are. And here's where the midterms come in. The Cook Political Report just dropped an important analysis about the mood of many voters. They reported that voters aren't just angry about the cost of living, but feel that, quote, the country's entire economic system is designed for elites at the expense of an American dream that feels increasingly out of reach. They're not wrong. And Marco Rubio...
You can also see the Democrats are starting to try to fashion their messaging around this, which is, it's not that difficult for them to fall back into trying to make these claims. You're seeing a lot of Democratic candidates who are just like ordinary, middle-of-the-road white people who are starting to frame things in these terms, which happens to align itself very nicely with this libertarian Marjorie Taylor Greene. What is Tom call her? Marjorie Trader Drama Queen. Marjorie Trader Drama Queen. That's harder to say than I thought. Thomas Massey. All of a sudden you got the Epstein class. So you could see how the anti-Trump perspectives are beginning to coalesce into what is really just a revolutionary communist populist sort of movement that is maybe in some cases trying to fashion itself as anti-communist while actually being communist in spirit, and trying to frame Trump as the protector of the elites. The dude who was on the phone with the hockey players, yeah, he's the protector of the elites.
Rubio told you at Munich that it was a deliberate decision, and we've shown you that it was announced 50 years ago by the Council on Foreign Relations. But if you don't understand who did it, the empire will use that anger and misdirect it, just like they've used the real anger in the Mideast to keep people fighting each other while they maintain control. Here at home, you're supposed to get angry at Trump's billionaires. That's the new Democratic Party playbook. Or whatever the latest social media outrage is. The intended outcome is simple. Enough people who voted for Trump in 2024, especially the younger ones, get demoralized, stay home in November, and the American system revolution ends in January of 2027. Don't let them do that. Think about the factory owner in Georgia who went from a few days of work a week in 2010 to turning away business today, and all the workers he's brought back to work. Think about the president of Paraguay, saying that for decades there was no hope, and that Trump is changing that. Think about a Treasury Secretary who declared that Alexander Hamilton's system is the foundation of American sovereignty. That's why Promethean Action exists. We know the playbook, and we know how to defeat it. So join us as a supporting member or a contributor, because the fight before us is bigger than they want you to know, and we are going to pull back the curtain. So this week, an imperial system that has run the world for centuries used the American judiciary to try and disarm the president's economic revolution. But in the same week, the president marshaled 60 nations to join in his mission. The question now comes down to whether enough Americans will understand that and defend that economic revolution in this fateful year. This has been your Saturday Brief. Thanks for watching.
Please take a moment and subscribe to our free newsletter at PrometheanAction.com.
Thank you to the MAGA Grandma. Please remember to tip your streamer, tips.kingpill.com. I can feel myself starting to run out of steam here. I've still got 10 or 12 tabs to get through, so I'm going to go through the next couple. If you want me to go through all of them, please do send in a tip. tips.kingpill.com. Here is an old clip from our president. In 2012, Donald Trump is the most consistent motherfucker you have ever seen.
And somebody said, well, what would you do? What can you do? So easy. I drop a 25% tax on China. And I said to somebody that it's really the messenger. The messenger is important. I could have one man say, we're going to tax you 25%. And I could say another, Listen, you motherfuckers, we're going to tax you 25%. And
that's my president. Listen, motherfuckers, we're going to tax you 25%. My president has been disrespected. He's very upset now about the Supreme Court. He says, the Supreme Court, lowercase s, lowercase c, will be using lowercase letters for a while based on a complete lack of respect. The Supreme Court of the United States accidentally and unwittingly gave me, as President of the United States, far more powers and strength than I had prior to their ridiculous, dumb, and very internationally divisive ruling. For one thing, I can use licenses to do absolutely terrible things to foreign countries, especially those countries that have been ripping us off for many decades. But, incomprehensibly, according to the ruling, can't charge them a license fee. But all licenses charge fees. Why can't the United States do so? You do a license to get a fee. The opinion doesn't explain that, but I know the answer. The court has also approved all other tariffs, of which there are many, and they can all be used in a much more powerful and obnoxious way, with legal certainty, than the tariffs as initially used. Our incompetent Supreme Court did a great job for the wrong people, and for that they should be ashamed of themselves. But not the Great Three. The Great Three being... Oh man, I put these in... I reordered these, and now I can't remember where I put everything. Where is it? I was going to do the N-word one. But oh, there it is.
The N-word!
Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, and Brett Kavanaugh. They're calling him Chet Kavanaugh. The next thing you know, they will rule in favor of China and others who are making an absolute fortune on birthright citizenship by saying the 14th Amendment was not written to take care of the babies of slaves, which it was, as proven by the exact timing of its construction, filing, and ratification, which perfectly coincided with the end of the Civil War. How much better can you do than that? But this Supreme Court, again, lowercase s, lowercase c, will find a way to come to the wrong conclusion, one that again will make China and various other nations happy and rich. Let our Supreme Court keep making decisions that are so bad and deleterious to the future of our nation. I have a job to do. Make America great again. President Donald J. Trump. My president is the pettiest president. Now, on February 20th, Donald Trump reissued his executive order suspending the de minimis tariff exemption on mail-order purchases from abroad. It invokes IEEPA, even though the court struck down IEEPA as a basis for any tariff. Trump is already defying the Supreme Court. He said, by the authority vested in me as president, by the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, including the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, the National Emergencies Act, Section 604 of the Trade Act of 1974 as amended, and Section 301 of Title III, it is hereby ordered, and he goes on to give the background. He is ignoring the court. The Notre Dame College Republicans said absolutely glorious news. Few understand this, but the framers actually deliberately refused to give the court's enforcement powers as an implicit check on judicial overreach. And Data Republican has a thread here. Is Trump's hunch about foreign influence in SCOTUS correct? It's very interesting that he's anticipating ahead of time.
Baby.
Kai!
White man is back.
Thank you for the $20 tip, Kai Akins. Patriot. Speaking of Patriot grandmas, she's one of our greats from the King Pill Discord. Thank you for that, Kai. And reminder to, if you're new listening for the first time, go to forum.kingpilled.com and sign up over there. It's free to sign up. You'll be entered into a free drawing, no purchase necessary, where if we hit the tip goal on tonight's episode or any episode for the rest of the month, then I will do a random drawing and give 10% of the total tip take to the winner in the form of a gift card to your retailer of choice. So, forum.kingpill.com. I'll be clearing it out at the end of this month here, at the end of the week, and starting it over again for next month. I guess also I should mention while I'm talking about that I am leaving Texas. No, I'm going to be what's the word I'm trying to say here? I will be out of town next week, Wednesday. I'll be flying out on Wednesday. I'll be flying back the following Monday evening. So there will be no show There normally is no show Wednesday, but there will also be no show Thursday, Friday, no ASTROLABE on Saturday, and I'll be out the following Monday as well. Yes, I will come back. Amy says you better come back. I will. I couldn't stay away from you guys. By the time it's after I've been gone for a couple of days, I'm always ready to come back. So you guys will just have to do without any Labe content for a little while, and I'll figure out a way to make it up with the Sudaman. Yeah, I'm meeting with Bibi Netanyahu. That's right. I got to go get my teal bucks. Nobody's been hitting the teal bucks alert here, so now I got to leave Texas to go find the teal bucks. So yeah, it's interesting that Trump is saying that he's like preempting the Supreme Court. He's saying already they're going to let us down on birthright citizenship. So is Trump's hunch about foreign influence in SCOTUS correct? After the Supreme Court's 6-3 ruling on tariffs, Trump said, "It's my opinion that the court has been swayed by foreign interests and a political movement that is far smaller than people would ever think." Trump is likely referring to the ideology of supranationalism, a centuries-old ideology that considered tariffs to be among the highest economical blunders, not for economic reasons, but because tariffs dare to assert national rights in a telos of universal liberalism. A long way of saying City of London, but we can forgive our deaf autist here. But is he right about the foreign influence? As has been widely reported, Mike Benz has unpacked the details of the friendship between John Roberts and Norm Eisen and their Prague vacations where they discussed, quote, American and European rule of law issues together. But there's more to it, a lot more. As always, patience as I pull the thread together. Meet Norm Eisen, legal hatchet man and central operative in the color revolution against President Trump. And this here, Chief Justice Roberts' secret friendship with anti-Trump radical. Here is Mike Benz talking about these connections. Go 1.25.
This incredible 16 seconds pulled up by the researcher. Norm Eisen said his good friend, Supreme Court Justice John Roberts, was not corrupt and that John went to the Czech Republic for a week so that they could spend more time working on American rule of law issues together.
John Roberts is not corrupt. I know the Chief Justice well. He stayed when I was ambassador, stayed under my roof, came and spent a week with us. We worked on American and European rule of law issues together.
Did you hear that? John Roberts, while Norm Eisen was the U.S. ambassador to the Czech Republic, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, John Roberts, yes, that John Roberts, stayed under Norm Eisen's roof, stayed with him for a week as Norm Eisen and Chief Justice John Roberts rigged the judicial system in Europe, worked on European rule of law issues. Now again, rule of law is their weasel word phrase for saying it's not a rule of kings where, no one is above the law. So the law has rule. The law rules over you, not man, not a king, not a president. It's all about the law controls all. So if you control the law, if law rules all, and then you have these programs like this John Roberts, Norm Eisen program in the Czech Republic to control the law, then you control everything. So having a program, a rule of law program, sometimes will be called governance programs or anti-corruption programs, but they're all about control over the judges, the prosecutors, the courts, the law schools. So this is what we're running into right now with all these.
Those are the weasel words that they'll use. Anti-corruption, rule of law, governance. And when you see those words, you should see those. If you're a longtime Mike Benz appreciator, then you know this already. But if you are not, and you haven't clued into this already, when you see those sorts of weasel words, that's what it's pointing to. This right here, this is the City of London. This is the spirit that emanates from the City of London, directed toward global governance and use of supranational organizations to distort the institutions in favor of these banking interests, some of which are Jewish, many of which are not.
These district court judges who are nullifying everything Trump does, blocking him from shutting down agencies, blocking him from firing people. This is what it looks like when you've got these rule of law programs in a foreign country and they try to change their laws or they try to clean up their country. And I actually want to get into some of these documents in a bit here. But now, Norm Eisen lived in a very peculiar place in the Czech Republic. He had a special house. There you go. Prague Palace. Norm Eisen with the former president of the Czech Republic in October 2011. The last palace in the next battle.
Look at that fucking
Norm
guy.
Eisen.
What is that?
Get that ugly, disabled freak away from me.
Of the Czech Republic in October 2011. The last palace in the next battle. Norm Eisen tells the epic story of democracy's long victory in Europe through a house's history. 7 years ago, as the new U.S. ambassador to the Czech Republic, again, head of the State Department for all things Czech Republic, Norm Eisen moved into one of Prague's most beautiful homes, a 150-plus room Beaux-Arts mansion with a sweeping curved facade. He soon heard fascinating tales about its previous residents. A German general, one of Czechoslovakia's richest men. Okay, so he stayed in a 150-plus room mansion. So when he goes on and he says,
I know the Chief Justice well.
I know the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, John Roberts, well.
He stayed when I was ambassador, stayed under my roof.
He stayed under my roof. So he stayed in Norm Eisen's 150-room mansion.
Came and spent a week with us. We worked on...
He came and spent a week with us. We worked on...
American and European rule of law issues together.
We worked on American and European rule of law issues. I want to know what exact issues they worked on.
I just got to say real quick, looking at a screen share of a screen share of a screen share is starting to make my head spin. I don't know if it's doing that to the rest of you guys, but we will plug on.
What issues, what American and European rule of law issues did Norm Eisen and John Roberts, staying at Norm Eisen's house, work on for a week?
Gee, I wonder.
Was it rule of law issues in Romania? In France? Obviously in the Czech Republic, because if you remember, Norm Eisen was effectively doing this like regime change operation through arresting all the political opponents. But he said American and European rule of law issues. I want every single one of these rule of law programs completely declassified. This is one of my side quests right now.
Yeah, I've wondered for a while, I've suspected for a while that Chief Justice Roberts is not just like some sort of squishy conservacuck, but is actually a like deeply compromised operative of the evil regime. Data Republican continues with the thread here. Eisen is a leading figure in the supranational democracy network, being an expert in color revolutions, but don't dare suggest he's orchestrating one here. He's a co-founder of the States United Democracy Center, which I called out for simply producing a Muppet show, co-counsel for Trump's first impeachment council, formerly U.S. ambassador to Czech Republic, crew chair. Is there more to that? No, she just says a hanging he's, apparently. Says, I don't know how accurate it is, but ProPublica reports that John Roberts reported payments from foreign government-funded universities, University of Melbourne, $10,000, Victoria University of Wellington, $10,000, and the University of Tokyo, $13,559. According to whistleblower documents obtained by Business Insider, Roberts' wife, Jane, earned $10.3 million in commissions recruiting lawyers at firms with Supreme Court interests. Wife of Chief Justice Roberts generated $10 million in commissions in this job, whistleblower says. Roberts' apparent $10.3 million in compensation puts her toward the top of the pay scale for legal headhunters. According to the article, her attributed revenue to Major Lindsay was $13.3 million during that time. The commissions were her share of the revenue. The internal records were contained in a whistleblower complaint filed by Kendall B. Price, a disgruntled employee at Major Lindsay. Price said in an affidavit he thinks that at least some of Roberts' remarkable success was the result of her spouse's position. Price had claimed in an unsuccessful 2014 lawsuit that Roberts and another recruiter collected commissions that should have been attributable to his work. Price obtained the commission figures during the litigation. The New York Times previously reported that she was paid, quote, millions of dollars in commissions, but it did not have a more exact figure. Its story was based on a letter that Price sent to Congress and the U.S. Department of Justice. Beyond Roberts, Justice Kagan met with 15 foreign ambassadors in a private roundtable as part of the Lugar Diplomacy Series, a program to, quote, strengthen diplomatic relationships between foreign diplomats. Senator Collins and former CIA Director Petraeus were also involved. Kagan was also the guest of honor at a 2017 Aspen Institute dinner on Billionaire Mountain for $10,000 a year donors. Only $10,000 a year? Including lawyers with active Supreme Court cases. Business Insider obtained the guest list. Kavanaugh attended, but was not on the SCOTUS at the time. Kagan was. George Mason University flew Kagan to Iceland, put her up for almost a week, and paid all expenses for one day of teaching. Her trip cost thousands. The article here says George Mason University's National Security Institute recently publicized that they hosted Neil Gorsuch and Elena Kagan. Gorsuch was there as part of the Separation of Powers class he taught at the university's law school. Kagan appears to have been guest speaker for the event, which was billed as an opportunity for students to, quote, learn about the historical roots and modern application of the separation of powers in the national security context. Now, a lot of this stuff is like, it's, Data Republicans putting together a thread that just details the connections that they have to foreign interests in some capacity. This sort of thing here, George Mason University flying them to this place and putting them up while they teach some classes or whatever, you're never going to get any headway on that as some kind of a corruption thing, or nobody's going to look at that sideways. But like the stuff with Chief Justice Roberts' wife, that's much more interesting. The most direct foreign influence appears to reside with Justice Sotomayor. In 2009, she said, quote, international law and foreign law will be very important in the discussion of how to think about the unsettled issues in our own legal system. This was in a speech she delivered to the Puerto Rican chapter of the ACLU. In that speech, Sotomayor made it clear that the court's citation to foreign and international law was proper and indeed laudable, since, quote, international law and foreign law will be very important in the discussion of how to think about the unsettled issues in our own legal system. At the outset of her speech, Judge Sotomayor attempted to draw a distinction between the use and consideration of foreign and international law in interpreting the Constitution. She said, I always find it strange when people ask me, how do American courts use foreign and international law in making their decision? And I pause and say, we don't use foreign or international law. We consider the ideas, yada, yada, yada. Sotomayor left 6 trips off of her 2016 financial disclosure and had to amend it, fix the court, found the omissions via public records request. I found a press release where Sotomayor taught international law in Prague in 2020, in the same city where Roberts visited Eisen. Overall, I don't think there's much actual foreign influence in the sense of one country influencing any SCOTUS justice, but do any of the SCOTUS justices see the rules-based international order as a higher virtue than the nation-state model that our country was founded upon? That's a different question altogether. And very obviously, many of them, most of them, do. But it is interesting that Trump made that reference, and I'm curious to see how much more he's going to hammer away on that, especially if they do rule against him against the rest of us on the birthright citizenship matter. Okay. Oh! Ass been in the tooth.
Seems like the best way to get ahead is to have your wife be the fall guy for all the corruption. Crazy pseudo loopholes. Abolish the wife.
Abolish the wife! Hang on a second. You sound like you might be a potential homosexual. I don't know about that. Oh man, I went and tried to do the soundboard again, forgetting that I can't soundboard without screen sharing. With the tip there, you just bought yourself. I was about to say that that I'm going to do the next couple, these 2 videos here, and then call it a night. But with that tip, you bought a couple of more. This was the one that I tried to do.
Faggot? Yeah. I just did. But would you faggot. Okay.
So speaking of faggots, Walter Masterson assures Michael Knowles, Patriot, that the Epstein files, the Epstein files implicate President Trump, but refuses to provide any evidence. This is the most intelligent, but the Epstein files guy. Listen to him.
Your claim is that Trump sexually assaulted children. So what's your proof? What's your evidence?
Just the Epstein files.
What specifically in the files?
I mean, let's get the Epstein files in here.
Do you have any evidence for the claim you're making, or no?
You know, besides the Epstein files, I mean, you know, God, there's only like 50,000 pages in it. I mean,
there's 3.5 million pages. At least.
You know what?
But is there anything in particular you would cite from the Epstein files?
God,
or are you just making it up?
We're just they're bringing in the Epstein files right now.
Unredacted.
Is there? Do you really? You don't have a single piece? I thought you might have like a piece. I prepared defenses against the evidence that I thought you might bring in.
You know, come on.
Another clip from the event featuring one of the greatest patriots of all time. Doyum, rise up! Where are my Doy boys? Where are you guys at? Here we have our great Doy leader absolutely mogging this retarded ginger dude. You'll want to listen closely to this one. Hey! Keep it toad!
Abolish the wife.
Here comes another one. Aspen of the toot.
Potential? More like potent. Oh. Walter Masterson is a total sexual deviant. Trust me, I am a homosexual and I know it. I think I've seen him at our grooming parties. And Peach. More like, in a young boy's peach. Fuck that guy. Well, he'd like that.
There he is. We were talking about you earlier. It was very obvious that you weren't here for the first half of the show. So you got to make sure you go back and listen. Doyle Tard's in the chat. Let's go.
I have a question for the gentleman in the redneck costume. I saw that you made a claim.
The gentleman in the redneck costume, just immediately, right off the rip, just killing it. Killing it. They say that nobody is better at using words than the great John Doyle.
For the gentleman in the redneck costume, I saw that you made a claim that was to the effect of, Americans and the issues we're facing, immigration is not even within the top 10. And you immediately cited the Constitution when making this claim. I would like to know if you can recite, and I know we had a little bit of an issue earlier with our citations, do you happen to know what is written at the top of the Constitution in a section known as the preamble?
We the people. We the people.
That's 3 words. Thank you. After that, there is, believe it or not, additional language. And what it says...
Hang on. Are you want me to recite the entire preamble?
Are
you want me to recite the entire preamble of the
Constitution? It is a crime that you have been allowed to speak so much
already. Am I in
already.
3rd grade f***ing history class?
What it continues to say...
Do you still have it memorized? I don't have it
memorized. Is that the Constitution...
We the people in order to form a more perfect union... Come on, just what's your f***ing question, guy?
Try getting it out. I don't know if they're going to put this on television.
First of all, I raised my right hand and I swore to defend that Constitution.
Okay.
So f*** you, I do know it. What's your question?
Well, what you don't know is that it is written specifically for ourselves and our posterity, which is to say Americans and their direct descendants, not foreigners and illegal aliens. So true.
2 of the greatest patriots tag teaming this gay-ass hicklib. Did you hear Knowles with that so true there right at the end?
Foreigners and illegal aliens. So true.
So true indeed. Man, if you guys do not listen to the John Doyle show, you're broken. You're suffering. You don't need to suffer like this. Yes, that is how he won the hat. Hat winning has been happening. White males.
White males way up. White males have gone through the roof. White males way up.
And then, oh yeah, here you go. Get these two back to back. Trump isn't doing mass executions of members of Congress. He betrayed me again. All right, here we go. Gavin Newsom to a black crowd in Georgia. I can't believe this is actually real. When I first saw this, I didn't think there was any way this could be. No, he did not actually go out there and say this, but he did. He actually did. This is a real clip. His Twitter account is out defending him today.
I'm not, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. You know, I'm a 960 SAT guy. And, you know.
Ah! That little chuckle!
I'm a 960 SAT guy.
This is totally some Michael Scott shit.
And, you know, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, you know, trying to act all there if you got 940. But
I know there's a whole audience of blacks out there. You might be 940. I don't want to be acting like I'm hot shit or anything.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good. Well, you must be a high IQ person.
Aspen in the toot again! Oh, this is a good one.
Recite the constipation of the United Airlines in-flight meals. Gay-ass hicklibs is not enough. They are just fags. Fags all the way down. Faggy fag fag MC Fagerson. Trump isn't doing mass executions of Congress, it comes after the hicklib Holocaust.
The hicklib Holocaust! Incredible scenes in the Astrolabe's tip messages.
you know, trying to act all there if you got 940. But
stupid?
literally a 960
Are you a stupid person?
guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. Maybe the wrong business to be in.
I'm in awe. Absolutely in awe. This dude made a plan to show up there talking to a bunch of black people and be like, look, because this is the thing that's going to get him absolutely cooked. He is dead on arrival because black people don't want shit to do with him. If it's him versus Kamala, he's done. Absolutely donezo. So he's like, I need to appeal to the blacks. Let's see. What could I say? Hey, I'm retarded too. Frankly, one of the coolest things that he's ever done, honestly, went in front of a room full of blacks and basically just went,
Yes, hello, it's me, a black guy.
It made me almost a little Aspen of the two.
Poor readers are just as smart as white readers.
So true. Poor readers are just as smart as white readers. Speaking of, it almost made me a little bit nostalgic for these days.
Your daughter, what advice would you give me the next time I get stopped by the police?
If you're my daughter, you'd be a Caucasian girl and wouldn't be pulled over.
Dark Brandon! If you were my daughter, you would be Caucasian and you wouldn't get pulled over.
What advice would you give me the next time I get stopped by the police?
If you're my daughter, you'd be a Caucasian girl and wouldn't be pulled over.
All right, you guys ready to party? Will Stancil, nigga?
Ride cold, nigga. Will Stancil, nigga. Pop a Nazi, nigga. Upside the head, nigga. That's a fascist, nigga. I'm a blasters, nigga. I'ma go out and kill all these classes, nigga. A Minnesota, nigga. I'm finna show these nigga. I ain't write speeches, I'ma win the voters, nigga. Stancil gang, nigga. Trump a lame, nigga. Pop that orange bitch in his fat brain, nigga. I'm a lawyer, nigga. A special goy, nigga. I met my fallen homies, that's George Floyd, nigga. I'm a wigger, nigga. White dicker, nigga. Slap my Stancil down, I'm a sickler, nigga. That's just honest, nigga. The Wigonomics, nigga. You can't talk to me unless you speak Ebonics, nigga. I love black niggas, them real whack crack niggas. Them niggas that just want a piece of them racks, nigga. I hate the ice, nigga. Think twice, nigga. I'ma melt them all down, pay the price, nigga. Blue sky, nigga. I'm too fly, nigga. Fuck the haters in my feet, I'm full live, nigga. Glock a fool, nigga. Roll two, nigga. That fucking robot, he raped me, I'ma soon, nigga. He had that hydraulic dick and it grew, nigga. I'ma get that nigga, Elon, he through, nigga. Get cash, nigga. Smoke hash, nigga. We must secure a future for big black ass, nigga. Willie Stancer, he gon' make you come fast, nigga. Willie Stancer, he be talking that trash, nigga. He that bold, nigga. He smoking bold, nigga. He selling house and two unfortunate soul, nigga. What's Stancer, nigga? What's Stancer, nigga? Get down on your knees if you a Nazi, nigga. Cause I'm gon' clock you, nigga. Push it, pop a nigga. They will never, ever stop me, nigga.
White boys have never been up more. Just incredible. Finally, this one's getting some numbers here. 767,000 views. I saw this one when it had sub 10,000. And I was like, holy shit, what a banger. How does it not have more? The quality of the memeing that is coming out of right-wing adjacent Twitter, anything associated with Will Stancil, it's just incredible. Incredible.
White males way up. White males have gone through the roof. White males way up.
Here's another one. This one's shorter. From Quality Leering Center. Will the Menace of Minneapolis Stancil. Avert your eyes. If you have young children, this one's graphic. Isn't it incredible? No, Jamal! Absolutely remarkable. This technology is so good. So here is Zero HP. This guy is talking about South Korea, gender is turned into a zero-sum identity battle, yada, 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 a bunch of gay shit. And Zero HP said, vibe coding a browser plugin that changes the word gender to sex in 100% of cases. There is no situation in the English language, unless we are talking about verb-noun alignment in Romance languages, where gender is the right word to use. Say sex. The elites don't want you to know this, but LLMs can make you a browser plugin in 10 minutes for free that you can install locally by turning on developer mode in your browser's extension settings. Make me a browser plugin that replaces the word gender with sex 100% of the time. We'll do it. And then he says, I see a lot of people saying, if LLM coding is so powerful, why don't we see a deluge of new, useful, profitable software? And the answer, in my opinion, is that a lot of the new useful software that is coming into existence isn't intended for a wide audience, a mass audience. What LLMs do is enable everyone to have their own personal, intimate, bespoke software that solves their own personal problems. The commercial viability of software qua software is going to go down a lot. But what we are getting in return is that in the past, everyone had to use the same crappy apps that barely fit their needs, whereas now we can have exactly what we want just for us. It's the difference between everyone wearing mass market t-shirts that Aspen in the two.
Won't make me as good at being racist in front of black people as the average 50-plus Democrat. They are the true teachers. Gavdolf Hessam is our guy.
Gavdolf Hessam! Gavdolf Hessam. Yeah. We're going to bring him back. We're going to revive these latent spirits in the that are lurking within the 50-plus Democrats. We're going to be having them dropping hard R's before long.
I'm a human nigger going hard as fuck.
There you go.
It's the difference between everyone wearing mass market t-shirts that don't really fit anyone versus everyone getting to wear a bespoke suit that costs less than the Walmart t-shirt did before someone invented looms. LLM equals loom. It's not even worth distributing most software when you can compress a complex application into a kilobyte of text. Aspen in the tune!
Wigger will. Wigger won't. Wigger maybe. But Wigger abides.
Wigger abides! Wilhelm
Fuck you all
Stanzeldolf!
MAGA niggers, it's on site.
Oh, hold on, I talked over it. What did it say? Play again!
Fuck you all MAGA niggers, it's on site.
So true, Wilhelm Stanzeldolf. Thank you, and thank you to Aspen in the Toot. The Wigger abides. I need to get that on a shirt. A king-pilled shirt that says the Wigger abides. Thank you for the tips, guys. You've got 5 minutes if someone wants to send in a $170 tip and get us to the goal here. You've got maybe 5 minutes to do it. Coach Noah Revoy, who's a great follow, Powerful Mutual, says, that's exactly what I'm using it for. I'm building a full infrastructure to monetize the intellectual property I've created over the past 2 decades. I always knew much of it had commercial potential. What I lacked was the capital, a few $100,000, to build the platforms required to execute on it. Now I can construct that infrastructure directly. This guy says, but it doesn't cost less than that. You're spending time, which is quite expensive. And then you're maintaining, extending, debugging. Don't get me wrong, I love and use these tools extensively to build my own websites and software. Super powerful, but not free by any stretch. And Zero HP said maintenance costs are basically zero when the software is just for you. And that's the thing. That's the thing. This is what I think a lot of people are not prepared for, is the ability to know nothing about coding. You don't need to know how to code. Or at least, very shortly coming down the line, you're not going to need to know how to code. I'm going to include in the show notes today, you got to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there'll be a link to a YouTube video with a guy. He's an investor, and he's like shamelessly talking his book, but a very successful investor who's talking about the impact that these the agentic AI specifically is going to have, upsides and downsides. But it's very, very realistic. There's going to be a tremendous shift that happens where in the Industrial Revolution disempowered the jocks in favor of the nerds. Because so much physical labor was being automated, it began tilting and distorting society back toward toward the nerds. Suddenly paper pushing and currency manipulation and arbitrage and numbers games became much more profitable relative to I listened to the Luongo St. Onge episode. That's another one. Tom Luongo talked to Peter St. Onge, and it was very, very good. They talked about this. So the Industrial Revolution tilted the balance of power in society toward the nerds and away from the jocks. But what's happening now is we're getting a move back in the other direction, where the white collar people are going to, individual, like low agency white collar people are going to get absolutely cleaned out, and they're going to get forced back into digging ditches. Fortunately for them, digging ditches is actually going to become pretty profitable. You're going to be able to make a decent wage just digging ditches. The transition is going to be the hard part. But then on the high agency white collar people are going to be more empowered than ever before. So I'm going to link that. I'll link both of those here in the show notes. The Luongo Peter St. Onge episode and the other one about agentic AI. I will link those in the show notes so you guys can go listen to them. I strongly recommend. Here at the end of the Labe, you could switch over to one of those. And you should also go to the Kingpill Discord and join it up. Kingpill.com. On tomorrow's Labe, we will be doing a live viewing of the State of the Union address from our president. And then I'll probably have some other stuff, maybe before, maybe after, we'll see. So tune in for that on Kick, on Rumble, on X. That's where it will be streamed live, or you can watch the replay later on any of those platforms, or on YouTube, or you can listen on your podcatcher of choice. Please leave me a 5-star rating and review. Follow me on X at Kingpilled, and please do remember to tip your streamer. You can do so anytime, day or night, at tips.kingpilled.com or directly via Cash App or Venmo at Kingpilled for both of those. And And I will be back for you guys tomorrow for, yes, the Labe is done. The Labe has ended. I guess kind of a short one today, huh? I didn't think it was going to be, but it turned out that way. A little under 3. Little under 3 hours. My brain is shutting down, and I don't have anything else to talk about. So I will catch you guys tomorrow for the State of the Union address. Until then, I leave you with Hulk.
When they took a shot at my hero, and they tried to kill the next President of the United States, enough was enough, and I said,